Hello everyone and welcome back. I am MichaelJMAD and we are in Planet Coaster. Now, as we're building out the path and things here. This park has no real set goal. I'm just starting to build it. I do plan on doing more with the entrance. As you see when I start out here, I kind of add in some water features, but I don't really do a whole lot with the entrance. So I'm going to be doing some more of that. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to go about that. When I was playing this on the stream and things like that, I had found on the workshop and I'll pull it in here in a minute, I found this waterfall on there, which does this really neat waterfall effect. I cannot find those effect anywhere. If you click on them, they called falls or something like that, and I cannot find them anywhere, even doing like a search on the scenery bar and in some of the other places. I can't find it, so I don't know how it is. But this waterfall is come off of the workshop, and I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the guy off of it. If I can find it, I will annotate it on the screen. Or actually, I'll tell you what, I'll do one better. I'll throw a link to it in the description, because I should be able to find it and put a link there. So yeah, it's a really neat little waterfall. I like the effect that it gives. I was adding in the fog, I think it was fog, to give that misty effect that you get with waterfalls, with a lot of water coming over them into more water. So I was able to achieve a decent effect with that. I really am I'm liking that. It's coming along nicely. I start building the train. Now, something I used to do in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 is something I want to do in this one because I absolutely love doing it. It was gorgeous when I got done with it. Is I would build the train out into the corner of the path, usually going through some sort of mountain, which in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 was, for me, always ended up just being a very flat wall. It was just something to break it up. Now, this mountain I'm building here, I don't like it. I'm not thrilled with it at all, but I'm having issues. I've seen some truly amazing scenery, and I think what I may do for the next park that I build, which I'm going to continue working on this one for a little while, but on the next park I build, I'm just going to see if I can find a blueprint or a park that somebody has already built that has scenery in it, because there's so much that with the amount of control that we have over the track and things like that, there is so much that we can do around scenery to make it interesting. And one of the ideas that I have, and I'm probably going to do, is I want to use either the log flume or the raft, the inflatable raft tube thing. I actually used to have one of those when I was a kid. My dad, I don't know where he got it, but somebody at work gave it to him, and it was basically one of those giant inner tubes like that, and we'd fill it up and use it as like a trampoline. It was a lot of fun. God, it was heavy. It was extremely heavy. I wonder if my dad remembers that. He ought to. I made him put it up every year. Because in the wintertime we would take it down, which is odd because it would have been a blast to tie that thing behind a truck. Although I don't know if we'd had a truck. I wouldn't have had a truck back then that could have pulled it. I wonder if we get any pictures of that anymore. Now I've got to look. Anyway, I want to do some sort of thing with that raft system around the mountain, because you can do some really neat things like that around the train. That's another reason for building the train, not terrain, the train out to the area that I did, is because the Alpine map has some train already pre-built out there, which I want to run a roller coaster around in. I think it could be a lot of fun. The idea here with the scenes is this is something I did in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I would build out these scenes that the train would then travel around, and you could see these really interesting things. And there's a clip at the end of this video where I will ride the train and the roller coaster that I build. Spoilers. Anyway, where you can see what's going on here, and what I'll do is, once I get more of it done and things like that, this is very early on, and I get kind of bored, I say, of building this area, so I decide to go build some more of the rest of the park. I like the blueprinting feature because things like the trees that I place, I can blueprint them, rotate them around, and use them to make my divider walls. which is again something I used to do on Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 because it would divide it out from the park, and I would usually have the trees 3 thick. I would have the tall trees in the middle and then shorter trees on either side of them, so that way it was completely cutting you off. You could not see through the trees. Sorry, I just bumped my mic. You could not see through the trees at all into the rest of the park. And that's kind of the part of the idea. I want you to go through the mountain. You're going to be immersed into this other world. And again, I don't really have an idea for the theme. There's going to be a couple of different scenes there. I'm going to work with it to probably build a pirate area on a lake. I'm probably going to do that on the return leg because there's a large open area that I can do that on. So I'm probably going to do something like that. I am really pleased with this. I do, and the devs, if you're watching, I would like to see more options of flowery plants. More like this, the bushes and things like that. But I would also like to see something very similar to what they did in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 with the square plots that were, you know, as big as the walkway. Maybe not necessarily as big as the walkway on here, but some sort of square plot that I can, you know, make patterns with and things like that, because that was something I did, as I would make like a checkerboard pattern with the red and yellow or red and white, and even, you know, I did a red, white, and blue thing, you know, and it comes out really well, and I'd like to see something like that snaps to the grid that you can place on a grid like that. I do expect there to be DLCs, although I've not seen anything, but I haven't really looked about the developer saying that if there was going to be DLCs or not. The train itself is named after a member of the community, Soul, so if you're watching, you have the Soul Train. Sorry, terrible pun, I know, but if you're watching, it's also painted in the purple that you gave me on the stream when I first played this that first night. Was it 2 Fridays ago, something like that? Anyway, so that's kind of the idea with this area here. I'm building out the area. I'm going to build a roller coaster out there, and I do kind of want to bring the train up and over the mountain. I'm going to build probably a ride on one side or the other of the mountain. I want to build it up. I'm not pleased with it. I really am not. And I'm not sure really what to do to make it better. The camera does stop here for a minute because somebody was talking to me, so I am sorry about that. It'll get going here in a minute. You know what? No, actually, it wasn't nobody talking to me. It was a brain fart. My brain just quit working. Much like his voiceover afterward. But anyway, I plan on doing some sort of ride that incorporates into the mountain, onto the mountain, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to build up some more of the mountain, try to make it look better, and go from there. I do this kind of first area of the park here where you first enter into it. I kind of want it to be more like the fairs and things like that. I don't know where you all are from, but here we have the state fairs that we go to, and they have, you know, rides everywhere. And I know that I've seen that you all do, like in England and things like that, do the same thing. It's really cool. You have all the rides and everything, and that's kind of the idea I want for this first section of the area. The train is going to be there to take you to the back section of the park where some of the bigger rides, the roller coasters. And I've actually got an idea for a roller coaster that I don't know if it's going to be that easy to do or not. But it's very much inspired after a roller coaster at a park that I went to. It was probably one of my most favorite roller coasters. One of my favorite roller coasters to ride. And it's all indoors. It's got scenes in it, so it starts out very, very dark, very slow. And I'm kind of afraid that the lighting's not going to work inside the building, so I may have to find a way to work around that. Because it's very dark, it's very atmospheric, and you go around and there's like a little saloon and there's shooting, and it's some really neat things. I did notice the wall when I was doing the voiceover here. This is actually my second take of the voiceover because, yeah, that it's off by half a block or a grid section. So I will go back and fix that. Because it was aggravating me because the roofs weren't lining up and I couldn't figure it out, but now I know why. Anyway, the building here that I'm building is it's mostly just to like keep the rain off of the people that are standing right next to the train. I didn't want to enclose it because as it being a steam train, it doesn't really make sense to enclose it because the steam or the smoke couldn't get out, and also the steam that's around it can't get out. So it would be very hot in there. So I just kind of wanted to do like a little half building thing, and I may go back and change it after I'm sitting here thinking about it, and add in some wooden beams and make it more like a standing roof instead. So yeah, I'm gonna have to build up on the second station too. I tried to copy and paste, but it would not click to the grid over there on the other train, and I think it's mostly because I'm still not 100% sure on how to build with this. But you know, I'm learning. The area here, I build in some of the the rides and things, and I'm thinking about moving them around a little bit. I've got them kind of confined together, but I've got room to add in several rides in there and connect them up, and I'm going to probably put a walkway across there behind them. And if the video is very jumpy, my software for doing these time-lapse things like this, I don't know what its deal is, if it's memory. I'm really hoping, crossing my fingers, that it's fine after it's rendered. I'm hoping it's just like a pre-render bug, but we'll see. I add in a few little shops. I use the pre-built ones because I'm still not 100% sure on the actual building of myself. I plan on doing it, but right now I'm very unsure of it, and I feel very negative about how it comes out. But I'm going to add a walkway behind the rides there, and we put in the roller coaster back here, which doesn't take up. I was wanting to take up that entire space with the roller coaster, and when I was building it, it feels very slow. Now this is supposed to be a kiddie ride. It's not supposed to be the fastest roller coaster. It's supposed to be kind of, fun, but not intense, I guess, is what I was going for. So it's got a lot of little, helixes and ups and downs, and as I'm building it, you'll see I have to tear it back and build some more, and go back and forth like that and things like that. So, and I tell you, that is so rewarding watching them fly off. I was hoping that they would keep that in there. That was a fun thing when the carts would fly off the track like that. So I was hoping that they would do something like that, and that is something they did in Roller Coaster Tycoon World. Was actually made it to where if you didn't bank it properly, the cart would still fly off the track. So if you didn't build it, it's a nifty idea, but I think for the sense that the game is just supposed to be a casual, like, fun building game, that doing it more like Planet Coaster is done is probably the better idea. That asking people to build a roller coaster and then it's having to just actually plan it out and think about it to the point of, is it going too fast, so fast that it's going to fly off the track? Again, it's a nifty idea, and maybe we'll see something like that. I believe Planet Coaster could do it, and do it in a fashion that actually makes a lot of sense. Everything else they've done does. I do like the fact of the amount of control you do have over the track. I'm still trying to learn how to do this mid-track adjustment thing, and then I got to building it, and I made this little like hippity-hop type thing, but it works. It's really cool. I'm really pleased with that because it makes it feel more like a dragon, more not smooth, I guess, was what I was going for. I do add in here the braking, or the block braking track, so that way I could run 2 trains on it, because something I've seen in a lot of content creators' videos and in the park that I did on my stream is that queue lines, if you have a ride that takes a little bit to run, the queue lines take and get full very quickly. So having 2 trains, and I like the fact that you can do those section breaks. Now, something that that does happen that I'm not 100% pleased with, but it makes sense, is that the block breaker, the section of the track, so everything from the break back, so from the all the way up to the hill, is the section. So when the train reaches the top of the hill, if there's a train on that section all the way up to before it gets to that break, it holds at the top of the hill until that section is clear. So I kind of like that, but I'm thinking I'm going to go back in and add in another braking section. But then again, if I do that, I'm probably going to have to redesign the whole thing, so I don't know. But you can see it's holding the train there until it hits the section, and then the train continues on. I'm still learning how to do the camera. It's very jumpy and very finicky for me. I'm still learning how to do it and make it smooth, but yeah. So anyway, this is so far what I've got, guys. I'm going to, let's see, where am I at my time? Yeah, I'm going to cut the clip here to a live action I say live action, to a slowed down back to normal speed clip, and we're going to ride the rides. And something else I want to point out too is the actual character models. They're not great. They're not, you know, high poly, you look like true human beings, but they're close enough. I really like them, and they're a lot better than the stick figure blob thingies we used to get. So, yeah. Also, something else, and maybe I'm wrong, but if y'all will agree with me on this, who would like to see a new version of Zoo Tycoon? I would. I love Zoo Tycoon, especially the Marina expansions on Zoo Tycoon 2. I loved building large aquariums and large habitats and things for the animals. So I really would like to see that. So developers of Planet Coaster, if you're looking for your next project, that's my vote. Make Zoo Tycoon and make it amazing like you've done this. Which Zoo Tycoon was amazing by itself, but anyway. The train, something I didn't realize when I was building it, I am going to go back into these tunnels and open them up a little bit and maybe add some scenes or some lighting in there. But the train itself has lighting that goes on and off when it gets dark. I did not notice that until it went into that tunnel, but I noticed the lights were coming on. Now the lights in the carts seem to stay on, but the light on the front of the train that projects out the front actually runs. I do notice that I have to move these trees around because they're clipping through it. So it's not pushing it out of the way. Again, asking a bit much, but, you know. I don't ride it all the way to the end because there's really nothing else to see. Excuse me. I just wanted to see if it would work. So, yeah. We ride the roller coaster next. Now, as I said, in the building of it, the roller coaster feels very slow. It feels, when you're building it, it feels slow. Hello, mate. He's happy. Oh, God, something's happened. Oh, no! I have appendages. Anyway, it's definitely not slow. It doesn't feel it in there. And where I typically like to ride roller coasters, it can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing, is I usually ride anywhere from the middle to the back. I like riding in the back because it actually feels different riding the coaster than riding it on the front. So, yeah, but I ride usually mid to back. The bad thing with it is if whoever gets a sick in front of you, you're usually the first to find out. So, it can be a bad thing, but, you know, it's fun. But it definitely feels faster. I really enjoyed the roller coaster's feel of it. It's a little jerky, so may have to go back in and try to tweak that a little bit. I don't know, first coaster though, so, well, technically second. I built that one on the stream, which was an inverted coaster, which was a lot of fun. Look at them throw their hands up in the air like, yeah! So, yeah. It gets kind of slow here, but yeah, it's coming into the end of the track and into the station, and it actually flows really nicely into the brakes. It doesn't slam the brakes on and make you jerk and everything like that, so... yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Anyway, guys, I've been MichaelJMAD, and I'll catch you next time. Also, I'm going to be correcting that in the outro video, so look for that. Not this video. Next video, maybe. Anyway, we'll see you. Hi, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or suggestions, throw them in the comment section down below. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, subscribe. I've been MichaelJMAD, and I'll catch you next time.